first of all, what we have seen is that Britishers are trying. In the first section, we have seen that uh, cricket as a colonial sport became famous in only those countries that happened to be the colony of England at one point of time. And despite no support from the Britishers, they had their own limitations. They never wanted to support with the Indians or the colonial people in colonies. The reason that we had discussed yesterday, one for because of their racial superiority, second because of your thought of that the cricket as a game cannot be played by these dark skinned people, and third was that they could not take the risk of mixing up with that of the local population, considering that it would be a threat to their life. So whatever their personal restrictions or the things were there, they never wanted to teach the people in the colonies to play cricket or about the details of cricket. But that was been also told as or considered as a challenge or taken as a challenge by the people living in colonies. For example, West Indies example given here, they were playing cricket at their own level in the allies, in their back alleys or in their streets on the sea beaches of Caribbean Sea, but they were never allowed to form a cricket club to play an organized cricket match against the Britishers. However, it was very late when the first cricket club was being formed in West Indies, but that was also not of entirely black people. That was the mulattoes means people from people from European races. They formed the club and they were playing the cricket. Now, for them, playing cricket was, and not only playing but winning cricket, in a sense, will give them the solidarity, recognition of equality, and political mileage also. So that is why, with this particular determination that if I may defeat or we may defeat the Britishers, we would be becoming very famous and popular overnight, and then we may get some favors politically also into this champion in cricket. They thought like that, and some favors were being given. So likewise, the cricket started spreading in colonies. So for the colonial people or the people in colonies, not colonial people, colonial masters, we were inferior and not good enough to play cricket. And for the people in colonies, it had been taken as a challenge to play cricket, to win cricket and get the equality of status. So far, cricket playing is concerned. Now coming to India. In India, out of all colonies, in India, cricket became very famous. Okay. But as I have told you, cricket in India was connected to religion in the beginning. The first religious community to start playing cricket were that of Parsis, that is Zoroastrians. Okay. And they were the business community. These business communities were very rich business class also. Dadabhai Naoroji would have heard the name, read the name, the famous Congress leader. He was also a Parsi businessman. We had Tatas, Vadias, Birlas, these are all the Parsi businessmen, very famous businessmen of India, or the business houses of India, we may say. They, because of their richness, almost equality in status, they were considering we are very rich, so hence superior than others. So all rich people can be considered equal. So we are also as good as you if you are talking about your richness. But then if I am rich, as I have told yesterday, if I am rich, then I need to reflect that richness in my lifestyle also. So I am as good as Britishers, so I must also copy the all lifestyle that the Britishers were doing. Cricket was also one among them, playing cricket. So they started playing cricket. But here the rift came, because you see the rift, 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 here is the feud or a sort of difference, serious difference is rift. You never wanted to, okay fine, for business purpose you were ready to mix up with me. Professionally I am ready to mix up with you, to come and sit in your class, to talk with you. But personally you cannot come and have your lunch with me, because I think there I am a different entity, a different, belonging to a different class, different category, and you are the category of different people. Okay. For the professional purpose, we are sitting under the same roof, talking, interacting, but this interaction is only confined within the classroom only. Beyond classroom, in digital class, in my staff room, in my other rooms, I may not sit with you, I may not interact with you the way I am giving the time to you in the class. So this is all professional purpose. So similarly, the Parsis were fine, very rich, that we can compete with you, we can have a partnership with you, only for the business purpose, not in the sports field. Okay? Because that is our exclusive lifestyle, which I cannot share with anybody, nor can I permit anybody to be the part of that. But then for you, your side is what? If you also want to copy us, then you would be also copying us on the same line. That's why if you can play cricket, so can we. And not only we can play, but we can defeat you also. The determination that the West Indians had shown there in West Indies. Okay. So here the cricket is started being organized on that. First of all, the Parsis played. After that, the Hindus played. The Hindus had formed their own club. Very soon, that because in those days politically they were a great competitor, Hindus and Muslims. Hindu side were represented by many organizations, in particular Indian National Congress and Hindu Mahasabha. They had made a separate political organization called Muslim League. So already divided Indians further supported the policy of the Britishers of divided rule. So I am not ready to cooperate with you if you are only coming for the purpose of playing cricket. But then I have supported the Muslims when they gave me the application of forming a separate Muslim Gymkhana. Gymkhana, the playing ground where the cricket, polos, etc. have been played, that is called Gymkhana. Okay. So Bombay Gymkhana, where the Parsi used to play, first of all, they had made their own club. That club, because you need the money to play cricket, it is a luxurious sport. Fine, there is no problem. We have a lot of money. We can have our own club. We will have our own ground. If we want the playing area to be purchased, ready, I'm good enough to purchase that one also. Okay. So they started playing cricket, and the first Indian official, I'm not talking about, because if you go by the history of cricket spreading in India, it were the first that British sailors who played the cricket in India, but they were all Britishers. But so far, one Indian who started playing cricket in India was by forming a club called Oriental Cricket Club. That east of anything is called Oriental, west of that is today we have a Eastern Hemisphere country is India, Western Hemisphere country is England. We had already studied longitude was that vertical division. Right hand side to that longitude is the east and left hand side is the west. All the countries are called the Eastern Hemisphere countries. In those days, the Mediterranean Sea, which is almost running parallel there, was being considered as a boundary line, and all the areas and territories east to the Mediterranean were called Oriental, and west to the Mediterranean called Occidental, Occidental. So because India was lying in the east of the Mediterranean, so it is called Oriental. So they have formed the first cricket club called Oriental. If you could recall your standard 8 days history, British education system, there were two types of the people here. One was Anglicist, supporting the English education system. Another was Orientalist, that is what supporting the Indian style of our system. So That is all Indian side, eastern side is called Oriental. They have formed, but there was a difference on the Gymkhana that they were in. There was a feud over that one. That is a fight over that. The playing surface of Bombay Gymkhana was been made rough and bad by the ponies and donkeys of the polo. Polo is been played on the horseback. That is a sort of mule actually. That is a horse family animal. Okay. So when they were been running on the ground become rough. If the horse has been running on a playing ground, of course definitely it will be becoming rough and the soil will be uprooted, and that is not fit enough to play cricket. So they had made their own club for playing cricket, but then that was been made damaged or damaged by the donkeys or the mules or the horses playing polos. Polo is a sport that is been played, and Britishers used to play that one. Have you seen the polo?
Yes.
Okay, that is been played on the horseback. So there was a dissent between them. However, this fight and struggle between the Bombay Gymkhana, the playing surface where the Orientalists or the Parsis used to play, had the happy ending when for the first time they had defeated. Given there, Parsi team beat the Bombay Gymkhana at cricket in 1889. Even there, na, so finally, almost same, you were been disturbing me, you don't compromise with me, you never trained me, you rather made the life difficult for me. But anyhow, I also wanted to play cricket. Not only I had played cricket, but I had defeated your team and your side also in 1889, and that was the things into my favor. Okay. So that is from where the cricket is started in India. Now, you see, the same thing that happened in West Indies. They became popular. Parsis were already popular because of their richness and the business community. But once they had defeated Britishers in India in the field of cricket, they became hugely popular. And that popularity that I was talking about in the film of Lagan. These very small villagers who were unknown to the rest of the world, living a very low lifestyle, became overnight famous once they have defeated the Britishers in the field of cricket. That was the magic and charisma of cricket at that point of time. Okay? So when the Parsis actually played and defeated Britishers, others also started to join that race. So Hindus came, Muslims came, and you see the establishment of Parsi Gymkhana, the second paragraph. Parsi Gymkhana became a precedent. Precedent is event that is following the previous one. Okay, yes. Other Indians who also in turn established their clubs based on the idea of really, if the Parsis could play, so can I. When Hindus came, if Hindus can play, then so can I. That is then Muslims came, and now Britishers started supporting. Try to understand what I am telling. When in the purely in the name of cricket you were coming, I was never been cooperating with you. So when the Parsis first of all raised the desire to play cricket, they were rather being not only non-cooperated, but they were being disturbed. Okay, your playing surface were damaged, you were not given the playing spaces, you were ultimately you continued, you showed your endurance and perseverance, and finally you continued to play, and not only you played, but you have defeated me also. Okay. But when the Hindus came, they have agreed to give them. They have recognized, yes, this is Hindu cricket club. Because I was knowing very soon the Muslim would also come, and that will fuel and support my policy of divide and rule. Already divided India, politically, emotionally is now also getting divided in the sports field also. And that division I will be welcoming. Okay. So by 1890s, Hindus and Muslims were busy in gathering funds, because in order to play cricket, form clubs, you need the money. In the case of Parsis, that money was already available with them because of they were very rich. But for these guys, they have to raise the fund. They collected money, and then they asked the support for the Hindu Gymkhana and the Islam Gymkhana. Different clubs that started coming up. The British, the same thing. The British never considered India as an independent country. So what happened? So India as a nation was not there. So they saw it a collection of the caste and races. It is not a nation where the Indians are living. Never ever. If you could once again recall your standard 8 history, the first chapter, then James Mill had categorized the Indian history as Hindus, Muslims and Britishers. Normally the categorization is of any history can be divided into three phases: ancient, medieval and modern. But James Mill, who was the Scottish economist, the first chapter of his Standard 8 given, he divided Indian history as three groups: Hindus at one, because ancient India mostly dominated by Hindus, Hindu rulers were there. Medieval India mostly dominated by, and it is the Britishers, as they were thinking that they had taken the credit of modernizing India. If India is modern, the credit must be given to the Britishers. So there are only three phases of Indian history. Once the Hindus, when Hindus were ruling; once the Muslims, where Muslims were ruling; another the British, when Britishers modernized India. However, this categorization was very, very untrue, because no singular phase in Indian history was been ruled and dominated by any one caste or any one community. Mostly Hindus agreed, but not totally Hindus. Mostly Muslims agreed, but not totally Muslims. At that point of time, even the Mughals were there. The Marathas were a great headache for the many Mughal kings. The stories of many Maratha kings, Shivaji and Rana Pratap, Akbar time. Then we have a Shivaji during the time of Aurangzeb. I'm talking about the great Mughals, that is pre-Mughal. Post-Mughals not. Okay. So no phase of Indian history was being dominated by one singular community. So any such categorization, mostly this standard 9 is dominated by the boys. That does not mean it is a singular type of school. It is still a co-educational vibe, because the girls are also there. Mostly boys can be agreed, but totally boys cannot be. Okay. So this entire thing were full of errors, but Britishers were considered. This is not a nation. Today we consider India as a what? As a nation, and we take it up proud that India is a land of unity in diversity. Diversities are there. Somebody is high, somebody is low, somebody is Hindu, somebody is Muslim, somebody is male, somebody is female, somebody has some other culture, somebody has another culture. Fine, we take it as a pride that we have a diversity in culture, yet we are united as an Indian, Okay. But Britishers were considering that is they considered India, so why should they call us Indian? Who are you? You are Hindus. Who are you? You are Muslim. Who are you? You are belonging to particular caste. Okay. So they always considered India as like that one, never as a nation. So really, Hindus came, it means that Hindus wanted to form their one own team. It is match between British and Hindus. It is not between England and India, England and Hindus, England and Parsis, England and Muslims. And they were considering like that one, recognizing, chalo, theek hai, tum log bana lo. But then on one side, two things parallel were going on. In which year did Parsis defeat England? In which year? The first Oriental Cricket Club, the Parsis, played, and not only played but defeated also the Britishers in which year? 1889, just told, 1889. Okay. And when was Indian National Congress formed? 1885. And the purpose of Indian National Congress was to unite India, to free India. So one side your leaders are struggling for nationalism. What is nationalism? Sense of collective belonging, that we all belong to the same nation. So irrespective of our caste, creed, religion, language, we are all Indian first. So one side your leaders were trying to bring that sense of nationalism among the Indians, and another side Britishers were just supporting and fueling what? You are Hindus, you are Muslims, you are in the name of cricket. Okay, so that was later on been objected by Indian leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and some great commentators and editor of newspapers. Also, the names are given here by the way. Now, exactly the same thing. I'm reading it out. That religion. So the first of all, that the origin of Indian cricket played by Indians are actually that Parsis, then Hindus, then Muslims. in the 19th century, page number 151 you see, in the 19th century many Indian institutions and movements were organized around the idea of religious community because British state or the colonial state encouraged these divisions and was quick to recognize communal institutions. So anywhere, if you have been making one cricket group, I have already told and we have seen, Parsis were wanting to play cricket, they were being disturbed and not supported. But then why Hindus? They must also not be supported. Why Muslims? They should also not be supported because they are also inferior, not knowing how to play cricket. So, but then why they were being immediately ready to recognize this is Hindus club? Simply because it was supporting their idea of. So I want to divide India. On the one side that leaders are wanting to unite India to free India, and I want to divide India to make India weak and weaker as much as possible. Okay. So in the late 19th century, many Indians, yes. By the way, for example, there was, you see, there was you see the mindset of the Britishers here, that the governor of the Bombay Presidency, while dealing with an application from the Islam Gymkhana for a land on Bombay seafront, he wrote, "We can be certain in a short time that we shall get a similar application from Hindu Gymkhana also." So when you came for with an application, sir, please give us an area on the seafront of Bombay to make a ground where we will make our own club. I was immediately ready to give you the time and give you the space, because I was very much sure in the back of my mind that very soon the Hindus will also come with a similar application, that they also want to make their own ground and make their own club, and likewise you will be divided. So today is a match between Hindus and Muslims. What will happen? The Muslim supporter will support at any cost all the Muslims, and Hindus will be Hindu side. So one will be friend against the enemy of others, and Hindus and Muslims who actually are Indians will be get divided in the name of religion. Religion is already a sensitive emotional issue, and in the cricket field it becomes even more intense, and that intensity is still going on. When I had thrown the question that India and Pakistan will playing, that Pakistan will be defeated was the chorus answer, and the same answer when the Pakistan and Sri Lanka is playing, whom do you want to win? Answer is Sri Lanka, because you are still somewhere been feeling bad with Pakistan. Okay, so this is what that intensity they also wanted. They had cropped into the mind, and that is been even harvested today. Accepting or not accepting is another one. Covering over that one by making a diplomatic statement is another thing. The fact really remains like that. Anyways, so overall it was on the ground of religion. You now to see the tournament also being played like that one. So the history of Gymkhana cricket led to the first class cricket being organized on communal and racial lines. So now the teams are being what? Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Britishers, one side the British India. Now that there were some religions are still left. Okay, Hindus were already there, Muslims were already there. That Parsi finally merged into Hindus, Muslims were there. One side was the Britishers. Then we have the another one came rest of India. Rest of India means what? All other communities whosoever, because India is a land of many religions, so they can also come and be the part of this particular team. So in the beginning, there were 4 teams already created. Who were they? Parsis first, Hindus second, Muslims third, and Britishers fourth. Now the rest is in which the Christians are also there. There one was the Britishers, who were also Christians. But there are some Christians who were there in India also, the Indian Christians, some other communities. They combinedly formed another club that is called Rest of India. Okay, so this is how the cricket in early days in India was organized on a religious lines. Okay, that's it. And that is the name of this one. The 2 leaders actually then later on, let me complete that paragraph to understand the second one. So this history of Gymkhana cricket led to first class cricket being organized on communal lines or racial lines. The teams that played colonial India's greatest and most first class tournament were not represented as Ranji Trophy today. Have you heard the name of Ranji Trophy? It is being played between regions, Eastern Zone, Western Zone, Northern Zone, Central Zone. So Eastern Zone is coming, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar, all the players from this side will compete and play against Western Zone coming, Gujarat, then Bombay, these are all the Western Zone, okay. So like this one, today the Ranji Trophy has been organized on the region wise within the country, but in those days it was been organized like that of region. The tournament was initially called the quadrangular tournament. Quadrangular is what? Where the 4 teams participated. Okay. Triangular is 3 teams. Quadrangular is 4 teams. Pentagular is 5 teams. Okay. So because it was played by 4 teams, that is Europeans, that is Britishers, the Parsis, the Hindus, and the Muslims. It later became a pentagular when a 5th team was added, namely the rest, which comprised included all the communities left over, such as the Indian Christians. For example, a very famous Indian cricketer, his name was Vijay Hazare. He was later on the played for India also. He was actually captain of the rest of India. So by the early 1930s and 40s, journalists, everybody criticized that. And journalists, cricketers, political leaders had began to criticize the racial and communal foundation of the Pentagular tournament, because a very famous editor, his name was of a Bombay Chronicle was the name of the magazine, that is paper. His name was Asif Ralavi. Then a very famous radio commentator, his name was AFS Talyar Khan, and a very famous respected political leader, Mr. Mahatma Gandhi. They all strongly criticized, that is condemned, okay, the Pentagular as communal. This is not a tournament. Sports is uniting the people, not dividing, and here the divisions can be seen. Because it was divisive competition that was out of place in a time when they have designed this one, when at one side these nationalist leaders were trying to unite India, and they were on the, that is why it was been criticized somewhere. This is how in the British Raj, cricket in India was been organized on religious lines. And the last section, leave today, close this. Because last section is, now what are the modern